All right. So interesting one here for breaking news update number 1 for me is Richard Allen is being hit with additional charges. Well, let me back that up a little bit. The prosecuting office, the attorneys, are requesting to have additional charges added. Now, for anyone just tuning in here, Richard Allen is the suspect, the one and only suspect in the Delphi murders of Libby and Abby out of Delphi, Indiana, from what, 5 years or 6 years now, right? 6 years back?
I think it was 2017.
Yeah. Okay. 2017. So coming up on 6 years. Anyways, so this is one day after they took it to court and got his original attorneys back.
Weird, right?
It is weird. It's real coincidental.
And it's also after those new lawyers filed a motion basically agreeing with what his old lawyers and now reinstated lawyers said in the beginning, that he's being mistreated and there's odious in the prison system. And, he needs to not be in prison. He's not convicted.
Yeah.
So all of this combined and him getting his old lawyers back, it's interesting that he's all of a sudden getting hit with new charges.
It is interesting, and I understand how it can feel like I'm gonna get you back, prosecuting office, because remember, you guys, there was a point when Goal had came out in front of the public, the only time that cameras have been in there, and had asked the opinion of the prosecutors on what they felt
that was
about the defense. It was totally improper. But we just covered the case the other day or last Friday where, he got his attorneys back, kind of some updates on the case. And
no,
everything.
That was about the motion to transfer. We didn't talk about him getting his attorneys back.
You're right. So, but he got his attorneys back. They sided with him. However,
the Supreme Court did,
Supreme Court and denied, taking Judge Goal off the case. Now, that's interesting in itself because imagine being those attorneys of Richard Allen's and now having to go back in front of this judge after being mishandled in the way that they had been. I'm a little bit worried for how this case is going to continue.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see any of the footage of when they were arguing?
Oh, it's bad. Judge Goal's lawyer looked like an idiot.
He did look like an idiot, but the judges, I feel like, and the way that they were responding was almost backing Judge Goal, though. When Judge Goal became the topic of conversation, the tone changed and it came off very defensive, in my opinion, which I was like, that's strange. That feels weird. If you're a judge, you should be an expert at being impartial on any topic. It doesn't matter what it is. Are we seeing continued bonds within the justice system of how dare you speak about one of my fellow peers? You know what I mean? It almost felt like that to me, you guys.
You know what? The lawyer, he said judge, he said this is normal for the Supreme Court judges in a situation like this to be firing off questions, almost like an interrogation. But he
wasn't the
absolutely at the end felt like they were going to side with Judge Goal and reinstate his attorneys, but not take her off the case, which I found interesting that he called it. He literally called it.
Yeah.
Just based off of their questions. And it sounds like you did too.
Not off of the questions, strictly the tone change. I have no problem with all the questions asked. I think, and I was listening intently. I understand every question they asked, but the tone changed. It was very defensive. And remember, you guys, I'm in sales. Tone is something I pay very close attention to. They felt, in my opinion, either defensive or some type of offended way about the request to have Judge Goal removed.
She should be removed. I'm just really confused how she's still on the case. I don't understand how she can just take lawyers off and they agree that they shouldn't have been taken off. and literally taking documents off of the docket illegally and continuing to do it after they told her to stop. And then they continue, like, that's what I don't understand about our justice system is why are good cops and good judges and good lawyers backing the bad ones? Because that doesn't make you look good. It makes you look worse. It makes the entire system look bad.
Yeah.
You should be hanging out bad lawyers, judges, cops to dry.
I agree with you. I want to be very careful because I don't know if that's what I felt like was going on, but it could be an automatic response. Look, no matter what position you're in, whether you're the president, whether you're in the UN, whether you're a movie star, like we're all humans and we deal with these human emotions. And a lot of times that's why it's important when we're doing research into cases where we stay so objective, because subjectivity leads you astray. You know, the emotions could lead you astray. And does he have some kind of built-in bias when judging on a concern with Judge Goal, because maybe he felt like his career has been really hard and, you know, he has some kind of understanding for Judge Goal? Maybe we're missing that point, to be completely fair. But I will tell you that I totally felt like there was something there because of the tone, very clear tone change when they started talking specifically about Judge Goal. So interesting. But going back to my original statement here before we got kind of off there. So they're requesting to add 2 additional murder charges. So there is going to be 4 total charges. And basically, this is how it breaks down. 2 charges are for intent to kill. So kidnapping with intent to kill. The other 2 are no intent to kill. So murder with the kidnapping kicker without the intent to kill. Now, I did watch a lawyer talk about this, and she said it is normal, it is common, you don't see it every day in every case, but it's not against the law for the prosecutors or the investigators to have multiple working theories here, and they submit charges based on those theories. So maybe they're just trying to cover all their bases. I don't really know, but I myself have been a part of, you know, multiple cases where you have charges there. There's no way all 4 can land. That's impossible. But I think they are covering intent to kill and an unintention to commit murder.
So what? What is that? What are the actual official charges?
Felony murder.
Okay. So
what I think 4 charges of murder.
What I think is, yes, there's multiple working theories, but they do it that way because it gives the jury options. They can say, okay, we don't think he actually had the intention of killing them, and it was this kind of situation, whatever this theory suggests. So we'll sentence him to life or the DP with those 2 charges, not these 2. It gives them alternate options, room to play and maneuver in. And I'm curious why now they're adding those. Like, do they feel like they don't have as strong of a case, so they're trying to develop new theories to try to make it work?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was sitting here trying to figure that out too. What's the intention behind it? Because normally, unless you found additional evidence, you bring your initial charges. Now, this was a cold case for a long time. There was not a lot of movement on it. You couldn't have law enforcement that could agree on a theory, anything like that. So once they arrested Richard Allen, you would think that they would have their charges put together. So my one question in this is, right after he gets his attorneys back, they tag on these other 2 charges. Well, what has changed with the prosecutors? That's what I want to know. Normally, in a case, something has changed that causes you to make a change in the case? Are they just trying to cover all their bases? Are they just trying to make it seem harder? Are they mad that Richard Allen got a small win, and this is a response to that to try and double down and make it seem like, look, you guys, we're confident we got the guy. So confident, we're actually tagging on felony murder with intent. So I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think, though.
Weird.
It is strange. It is strange. They have not been officially added, but that request is pending and out there right now. Let me know what you think.